What's up guys, Jeff here, and today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It's One Take Sunday, where I give you an update on the store. We start in the front, work our way back, or we start in the back and work our way front. Yeah. So this is where we show you how the shop is currently, and we talk about some of the things that we accomplished this week and some of the things that we want to accomplish next week. So we're in the back room, and we got a whole bunch of nets drying because we got a shipment of freshwater fish in this week. Still not ready. Saltwater quarantine system, freshwater quarantine system. I'd like to get this painted next week and start displaying some t-shirts. I have a new idea for a design on the for the store, which I'm pretty pumped about that. We got some trash back here, and I do have some cleaning going on. You can see there's a really gross collection cup right there soaking in some vinegar, and we also have our aquaculture phytoplankton facility going. It's up and running. Got two different types of phytoplankton there. We got nano and iso. The ISO looks really good. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not. It looks like a good old trucker bottle, so pretty good shape. I did buy a light today to expand a little bit. I have two other species of phytoplankton that I'm going to get up on that rack before I head home, and here's the light right here. Oh my god, did the price of these lights go up. I think that was like $50 for a 2-foot LED grow light. Whew. Yeah, but it's kind of a mess back here, and what I would like to achieve in the coming week is get this cleaned up and organized. And I need to do a little bit better of a job of getting back here during the week and taking care of some stuff. This is usually an afterthought, and like, you know, when I get corals, I dip them, I bring them back here, I rinse out the bucket. That's from the water box move on Monday. I got a barrel sitting here. I got a barrel of live rock that I haven't even plugged in yet, which is awful. Need to do that before I leave. And yeah, so we just got a bunch of RODI filter parts over here. Just a bunch of craziness. Going on. So we need to get that a little bit more organized. Don't feel great about the back room, but we'll do better. This room's kind of gotten a little bit out of hand too. The middle room. So we got our shipping area / catch-all. We're building up a surplus of styrofoam containers. We got some boxes ready to go, and the idea for this is to have boxes for shipping on the top, and then actually do the packing here on the tabletop, and then some more storage down there at the bottom. But quite often, like things, you know, the focal point isn't always on keeping things orderly when you're in the heat of the moment, trying to get things done, trying to get something for a customer. We started doing this is so I can track stuff, because I have a tendency, if I need something, to just grab it and use it. Well, what I want to do a little bit better job of is tracking the store use of items, one from an inventory standpoint, and two, obviously from a cost standpoint as well. Tracking that stuff, doing a little bit better of a job. And I also need to do the same with like animals that die. Like if a coral dies in the shop, make sure I'm saving it and documenting that, because that's all, well, not so much a store use, but like when you lose an animal, it's considered shrinkage, and you need, that can be a write-off to help out the business, so I don't just take a loss. But probably back here, it's not going to happen anytime soon. Would like to get the TV up, couch flipped around, facing the other way. We got some chairs back here, and we got like a little table, rack. I don't want it to be a constant state of mess. You know, that's kind of what the closet's for, so you can shut the door and not look at it. That's not what closet's for. You can keep that stuff organized. But we need to do a little bit better job of, you know, at the end of the day coming back here. But it's not making excuses, but it's hard. It's hard to run a store and also make these videos and do a podcast and culture phytoplankton and make sure you get a quarantine system going and take care of the animals up front. I'm here typically 2 hours to 3 hours before the store opens and after the store closes with what I got going on now. So we're up here, store, water box, looking good. Still haven't got that protein skimmer on there. We're still on life support for the most part. We got that polishing canister filter in there, a glass heater. Haven't even started to dig through my equipment and kind of piecing this back together. Fish is happy. I've been feeding them or her 2 times a day. Frozen foods, nothing but frozen foods, so she's a little spoiled right now. The toadstool did its little funny thing where it sheds its skin, and it's looking great right now. Even that leather back there is looking great from a coloration standpoint. It's kind of putting the toadstool to shame with the greens. And then the new anemone looking pretty good. Not sure if he's going to stay, but you know, for now it's interesting. I'd like to see that clown maybe do something with it, but she thinks she's going to get fed right now, showing off for the camera. But looking pretty meaty under my mismatched coloration. You can see here you got 20K, and then, well, maybe that's more like 15K, and maybe like 10K here. Yeah, time to get those swapped out. We got some bettas this week, trying that out. Sold a couple of them. I guess my prices are really good from what I'm hearing from folks in comparison to other places. We got regular males and some crown tails going on there. T-shirts still for sale. They're actually available on the website, so if you folks watching the videos want yourself a t-shirt, go check out the store. Been giving out some Reef hobbyist magazines. Been selling the safety stop. Safety stop's been doing pretty good in the store. Also been using some of it. Promoting Mr. Reef box. I love the point of sale system, and I've talked about that in other videos, but I will say that this card reader is a little bit of a pain in the butt. Quite often I have to log out, log back in, forget device, and re-add device, and it does it in the most inopportune time. Like when it's doing this one bar or one LED light up, basically it's on, and then usually about the time that it needs to be used, that's when it shuts off. Got some buttons. I'll tell you what, anybody who buys a t-shirt today into tomorrow, you'll get yourself a button, and I'll also throw in a magnet. So want to support the store, want a little flair for your shirt, also your fridge, buy a shirt, link in the description below. I'll throw in a magnet and a button. Woo! Deals upon deals. Got another, this is another crown tail. Oh, bad filming. We got, these are my favorite right here. The double tail moon, half moons. Nice looking fish. There's one in here that's a smoker, smoked show. That one's pretty stunning. All blue with a black head. Pretty awesome. Best deals around from what I hear. We got 2 sweatshirts left. We got a 2XL and a large. Available on the website. We'll skip this for right now. We'll talk about that here in a second. Mr. Clam doing his thing. All closed up now. That's how you inspect your clams. Put that shadow over it and it should shut right up. Bubble tip anemones. Did a little feeding with them last night. They're moving around. They're pretty active right now. It's pretty interesting how much this animal moves around. pretty cool. The plan for this week is to start getting corals in here. I already threw in a couple pieces, but I want to start filling this ask bin up and get some corals down here, get that going. We got some questions about rocks this weekend, quite a few of them. No purchases yet, but like I think I've talked about in in past videos the last week or so, if this doesn't turn out the way that I want it, we're probably gonna shut that down to figure out something else for the rock and then turn that into a coral tank, because that's a lot of real estate in my store. Frozen fish food starting to go up pretty good. I had a gentleman that came in, and I can't remember what it was that he bought. Need to figure it out, but he bought all of what I had of that type of food. But the big sellers really are the bloodworms and the prime reef. That has been the big sellers here. Starting to sell the half shell clams too quite a bit. Deliveries for this week, we're going to be getting a bunch of inverts in. So we're going to be getting some more snails, some more hermit crabs, which are actually just going to go right into the coral system. And then I'm also going to get some interesting pieces. I want some starfish, a couple different types of starfish. I'm going to get some shrimp in here, some cleaner shrimp, some blood shrimp. We're going to get some more of the scarlet hermit crabs because those guys went pretty quick. A lot of folks like that. Ooh, folks, look at that. Look at that diatoms. Oh, baby. You know what that means. And then we got a bunch of blue leggeds down here. I got to feed these guys tonight. I try to feed them every 2 days. And what I've been feeding them is the Hakiri algae wafers. They tear these up, man. I've also given them the half shell clams as well, but they've been absolutely loving these. And where I have so many of them and there's not a whole lot going on, yeah, there's some diatoms that they could probably chew chomp on, which they are, but I wanted to make sure there's enough food in there for them because I'm not really feeding the tanks. So we've been doing that, but we got plenty of hermit crabs. The snails are going pretty quick. I gotta stay on top of that. We're gonna get some margarita snails in this week, which is an old school snail. They have an okay ability to turn themselves up, in my opinion. These guys are the best as far as turning themselves over. Minimal loss, minimal casualties with that. The only thing is you gotta make sure you don't got any pyramid snails on your little dudes because they will take them out. So always make sure you inspect your snails prior to bringing them home or even putting them in your reef tank. We sold my baby. My baby's gone. My rainbow trachea that I had way in the back. I had to reach all the way back. Put a price on it. Gentleman came in yesterday. Asked. He knew that I wanted to keep it, that I didn't want to get rid of it. I actually avoided the question completely, and we circled back around and yep, made him an offer and he took it. So we're gonna have to get some more trachees in here. I actually bought that trachea for the water box, but it's a business, so you got to make sure the bills are getting paid. We sold that big rock of zoanthids that we had. We sold some bubble tips this weekend. A lot of folks asking about bubble tips, so that's been good. Still got quite a bit of stuff in here. The 8 cans. Folks were asking about the 8 cans last week, and they didn't really sell. So, but we got 8 cans, so cool stuff. Probably gonna get a couple more scolies in this week, too. And then the $25 bin. Got a couple big pieces in there. Polka Star, Montipora. I got the bird's nest that kind of broke off the main colony. Throwing them out. A lot of good stuff in here still. Some good zoanthids. And we got old Charity. You guys didn't really get a good shot of her yesterday. So she doesn't like the camera. So she has been feeding, moving around pretty good. As you can see, her fins are pretty shredded, and her head and lateral line scars are pretty rugged. but she's very, very thick, very fat. Which doesn't always mean healthy, but she's been eating pretty good. We got a little bit of nori sitting there for her. She's going up for a little taste right now. But very gentle tang. Kind of a shame. But we'll make sure that she, if she ends up going to a home, that she goes to a good home and she's the big dog in the tank. And make sure that she is happy and healthy wherever she ends up. Or we'll just hang on to her. But we'll take good care of her. Lots of frags, dry goods, doing all right on the dry goods. And selling stuff here and there. It's kind of all over the place with folks on what they're looking for and what they want. More often than not, it's what I don't have. I guess that's just how that works. So what's going on with the freshwater fish? So we got some leopard longfins, we got some zebra golds. My cribs are starting to breed. It means they've been here a little too long. So the situation that had happened this week, I was standing here with the other half, and this was my crib tank, which I had the albinos in there, which probably wasn't a good idea. But these two had paired up, and they basically went through and killed all the competition as far as other fish, which kind of sucks. There was one female that was left in the tank. She was hiding in this corner right here. Anytime that she tried to come out, this one right here would have a problem with it and put her right back in her place. And you know, my other half, she's standing there. She's like, "Oh, that's horrible. You know, blah blah blah. This fish is mean. You got to get those mean fish out of the tank." So I grabbed a net, put them in here. Not even 15 minutes after that fish was all by itself, it was the only regular crib that was in the tank. It colored up and it started beating up on the albinos. So it's a good lesson in that sense. Look at how tight those two stay together. It's a good lesson that, you know, the nature of the fish is the nature of the fish. You can't hate the fish for what is, you know, built into them, because, you know, they were just doing what they needed to do to make the species survive. That other female, and then she ultimately ended up doing exactly what this female was doing, and was putting everything else in check and making sure that there wasn't any competition for any potential breeders down the road. So, you know, you got to understand your fish. You got to know what your fish need, what they want, and give them those things. Hopefully, you know, these two can stick together. If not, whatever, you know, it is what it is. My mom came in and bought the female, so she has one of the cribs from my systems. I thought these fish were way prettier than what they actually are, but I just grabbed my attention there for a minute. Still got the peacocks going. They're doing their thing. What else? Big interests. Things of interest. I already showed you guys the Pictus catfish. I like them quite a bit. We also got some clown. Nope. Do we have clown? Nope. The clown Placos. They're in here. They're going to work, man. You don't ever see them. No, there's one right there. You hardly ever see them, but they are already cleaning that tank pretty good. I'm gonna have to get more because some of these other rocks need a good scrubbing. Sharks. Sold a few of those this weekend. People like those quite a bit. Got some swords. Cardinals doing good, fattening up a little bit. Been feeding them bloodworms every night. Seem to like it quite a bit. And then feeder guppies. So you can see I'm having a little bit of algae bloom because there's been some casualties, but it's pretty interesting that these two groups are acting almost the same way. They're schooling the same way, they're acting the same way. I went in there and got out as many of the perished ones as I possibly could. And these ones, until probably 2 days ago, were, because the substrate was different, they were hanging very low to the ground, or the substrate. And yeah, I can see why anytime that you go to a fish store and you have feeder tanks, that they are bare bottom. because they're just scooping the casualties out. White clouds, I want to get some more white clouds this week. I want to get the silvers. I like these little dudes, they're pretty cool. But yeah, that's our freshwater. We'll probably do a little small order this week. I think I might do one, expand a little bit into some of these other having multiple species of fish within a system. We'll see how that goes. And then last but not least, so this week we will be getting the live food bar up and running. I'm getting my delivery of phytoplankton, copepods, daphnia. I'd like to get 2 more of these dispensers. These are available at the Walmarts, and get them going. I'm going to try to see about painting the bottom and then getting a light up underneath there so it kind of shows them off a little bit better. And then the way that these are designed, they kind of, I'm sure you guys know what this is, but they basically sit like that, which is not really what I want, but at the same time, we'll figure out a use for that. Maybe put a little sign there or something, and get that going. But yeah, that's going to be our little live food stand. I'd like to get 2 more of those. I bought all the ones that they had. Get 2 more of those, get an air pump, get some airline going, and yeah. So guys, that's going to do it for today, One Take Sunday. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Peace.